Hopefully that fixes it. Hopefully that fixes it. Hello? 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 Do I look better? Can you see me? Hello? I'm screaming into the void now. Hello? Hello? It's working better now. Okay, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Hooray, hurrah, hurrah. Okay, hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, some things that we missed because stuff was choppy, chippy, twippy, twippy. My day is good. How is your guys' virality? We're talking about fossils today. Fossils. You guys excited for fossils? I think what happened is my phone was on Wi-Fi, which is bad. Also, thank you guys. We reached 500 followers on Twitch. 500. Hooray! Hooray! Okay, so fossils are preserved evidence of life. Okay? Does everybody understand what a fossil is now? What is a fossil? Dun, dun, dun. Ba, 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 da, da. Much better. Evidence of life. Okay. So, there's a couple types of fossils that we're going to cover today. We're going to cover something called, let me figure out how to spell this, mineralization. Mineralization. We'll cover casts and molds. We'll cover what's called replacements. I used to work in the oil field, so worked with the liquid form of long ago dead life. True. Replacement. We're gonna work with replacement and recrystallization. Recrystallization. Then we're gonna cover carbonation. Not your sodas, carbonization. And then I think lastly we'll cover trace fossils. What is everybody thinking so far? What do we think about fossils? Anybody have any experience with fossils? I'm gonna get my handy dandy monster and my handy dandy water, because I want those. I want my water and my monster. I'm gonna put them on this handy dandy standing desk. Thank you again, Sam, for buying that standing desk for off my birthday thing. Thank you, thank you. Sam's my fan. He's so nice. I've been sleeping all day, chat. Hello! Hello, everyone! Hello! Bits of petrified forest. That's cool. Okay, so fossils are preserved forms of life. Okay. Now, fossils are exceptions. Okay, not everything turns into a fossil. You won't turn into a fossil most likely. Okay, so Fossils are not the regular. They're rare. Okay? But they are important. Did everybody write down what we're learning today? I can repeat it if you guys need. Ba, 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 da, da. I am procrastinating writing my paper about fossils by watching the stream about fossils. This is good. You're going to learn things. You're going to learn things. Okay? You are going to learn things. Okay. So fossils are exceptions. They're not a rule. Fossils are exceptions. Fossils are exceptions. Moist your face, that's crazy behavior. Okay, fossils are exception. So what's something that can't be a fossil, chat? What's something that can't be a fossil? Name a creature that can't be a fossil. I can give you a starter one. Mushrooms. Mushrooms cannot be fossils. Mushrooms. Mushrooms can't be fossils. What else can't be fossils, chat? Anything without bones, but let's think about specific things. So, you are right. Soft body things. Soft body, no fossil. Soft body, no. Worms, that's one. Snails, technically their shells can be fossilized. Worms. Think of one in the ocean. What's an ocean animal we all know that can't be a fossil? Jellyfish cannot be a fossil. Jellyfish. Let's see. Okay, so these cannot be fossils. They are soft body. Shark teeth can be fossils. So, what have we learned here? Soft body, no fossil. Has to have something rigid. Okay? So, like, for example, we'll never know, like, things like, we'll never know things like what a jellyfish in the prehistoric times looks like. We can make approximations, but we don't have their fossil records. Okay? Good job, chat. Good job. You guys are doing great. Ba, ba, ba. Where'd my chalk go? Oh. Okay. So, in reflection, soft body, no fossil. Good job, chat. We know that fossils are the exception. We know soft body, no fossils. That is true, but talking about fossils. You can get preservation, but we want to talk about remineralization. You know. Okay, the great majority of fossils are preserved in water environments. Okay. What's in a water environment that you can think of, chat? What's a water environment? So water environments. Oceans and lakes. That's good. You know why this is? It's because land fossils are destroyed way more easily. Thank you for the follow, Pupwags. Appreciate you. Destroyed more easy. This can also be things like floodplains and swamps and, you know, mud bogs, things like that. Anywhere where there's high amounts of water. Okay. Fossils form in what we call... I forget how to pronounce this. Sorry, this is where my dyslexia is kicking in. I don't even know how to spell this correctly. Oh, there it is. I believe it's called anaerobic environments. That's N-A-N-A-E-R-O-B-I-C. I think that more of mold. Wait, then how do you get plant fossils? I remember finding them. It's about things that, so fossils form in a period of compression, right? So it depends. Now, plants are rarer, and what you can get is imprints, okay? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Is that Yerk? I'm going to say Yerk. Okay. So what we're talking about right now is fossils. Fossilization. Anaerobic conditions. What is anaerobic conditions, chat? These are places at the bottom of the sea. There are bodies of water. That are especially favorable for preservation. So, good for preservation. Okay? Because they don't have any bottom fauna, and they don't, and they have very little, or they have what's called anaerobic bacteria that destroy the remains. Right, but no bottom fauna, because we don't want things destroying our remains, right? We want them to stay so that we can compress them, right? So, as for types of fossils, we're going to talk about our first type. What's our first type, chat? It's called permineralization. We're going to clear the board. No, I should wipe it. I need to slow down. How was everybody's viralities, by the way? Were we happy? Were we sad? I was quite happy. I got to spend time with a lot of good people. I got to see good friends. Okay. Does he do this teaching thing often? That's pretty much all I do when it comes to like streaming. Sometimes I play games when we're doing like our recesses, but I usually, every time I do a stream, I do a class. So this is our Fossilization 101 class. Okay. So we're going to talk about something called Jesus, my writing sucks today. Spent too much money and no, I can't buy guns till September. No, that's so sad. Mineralization. Okay, per mineralization. I'm going to read from my notes really quick, chat, so give me 1 second. Per mineralization is when the pores of plants or plant materials, bones, shells are impregnated by mineral matter from the ground, lakes, or oceans. So, what is permineralization, chat? Is where matter or organic matter is impregnated. Get your mind out of the gutter. Impregnated with mineral matter. Okay. So that for the person who was asking about plants, this is where the plant stuff comes in, right? Because what happens on plants is plants have pores that can be refilled with this mineral matter. Okay? I feel like we should change the song to something more like this one. I like this one. Bum bum. And this matter is from the oceans or lake waters or groundwaters. Ocean, lake, or groundwater. Bum 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 bum. So it comes from pre-mineralization is where organic matter pores are impregnated with mineral matter. This mineral matter usually comes from ocean, lake, or groundwater. Okay? Okay? So what mineral do we think is the most common per mineralization? It's silica. We love silica. Silica. And this process is called, what do you think this process is called, chat? It's called silicification. God, that was a big word even for me. Thank you for the follow, Araf. I appreciate you. Okay? And what do you think this process forms? Forms petrified wood. Petrified wood. We love petrified wood. I love wood. What? Don't clip that. Shut up. Okay. Which is one of the most familiar fossil forms. Everybody knows what petrified wood is. At least everybody has also probably held some petrified wood, right? So, another form of common pre-mineralization is calcium carbonate. Ugh, I'm so bad at spelling. Sorry, chat. And pyrite. Bum, bum, bum. Ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum. Good afternoon, teacher. Hello, hello, hello. Take a seat, take a seat. Okay. So, in our premineralization, we are talking about premineralization is organic matter pores. What is that? Aw, thank you. I appreciate you. Sorry, Professor, I need to skip this class. I may be able to resume with the VOD. Okay, have fun. Okay, premineralization is where organic matter pores are impregnated with mineral matter. This mineral matter comes from ocean, lake, or groundwaters. One of the most common forms of premineralization is called silica premineralization. This word is called silicification. Silicification. That's SILICIFICATION. Big word even for me. Okay. I missed this first part of class. I'm going to have to watch the VOD. No! Hi. Hello. Hi, tires. Okay. Now, silicification, sorry, I keep pronouncing it wrong, is most commonly forming petrified wood. Two other forms of premineralizing agents are calcium carbonate and pyrite. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. I'm going to go into a more in-depth thing about this, but this is the bulk of what you need to learn. It's God's cutest rock lad. That's me. Okay. So, the reason is, okay. So, this is how it forms. I'm going to explain it very, very scientifically, but you don't have to write this down, although I prefer you do. Okay. So, premineralization is where mineral matter seeps into the pores of organic tissue and forms what's called a crystal cast with deposited minerals. Crystals begin to form in the porous cell walls. This process continues on the inner surface of the wall until the central cavity of the cell is completely filled. Okay? Did everybody get that? Everybody got that? Boom. Too fast? Too fast? Okay, I'll do it one more time. Okay, so the process of permineralization is where mineral matter seeps into the pores of organic tissue and forms a crystal cast with deposited minerals. Crystals begin to form in the porous cell walls, which is spelled Porous. This process continues on the inner surface of the walls until the central cavity of the cell is completely filled. Boom. Bam. Bam. Education dunk. Education dunk. Okay. I'll let you guys write that down. Ask me any questions if you have any about premineralization. And then we'll move on to replacements and recrystallization, which I will write up here. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. What the word under calcium carbonate? It's pyrite. Replacement and recrystallization. Team Rocket is what your shirt makes me think of with the big red R. It is Team Rocket, but I call it Team Rocks because we all love rocks. We're Team Rock here. Okay? That is an awful recrystallization. I'm going to rewrite that. Okay. We're going to move on. I'm going to erase the board. If you guys have any questions, let me know. That's what I'm here for. And to recover it, pure mineralization is where organic matter seeps into the pores, mineral matter seeps into the pores of organic matter and fills it in. This mineral matter usually comes from ocean, lake, or groundwater. And one of the most common types of permineralization is silica, which is called silicification. This is most commonly known for making petrified wood. Okay. Two other common forms of permineralization agents are calcium carbonate and pyrite. Okay. We're moving on to recrystallization and replacements. Okay. Okay. In recrystallization, circulating, that's percolating solutions. Dissolve. The OG, we're using OG as an analog for original. Okay, chat? The OG skeletal remains or skeletal material. Skeletal material. Okay? And deposit new mineral matter. Okay. So to recap, okay, when we're talking about replacements, okay, circulating solutions dissolve the original skeletal material and deposit new mineral matter. Thank you for the follow, Curie. Thank you. Okay. Now, this is not Unknown West. Thank you for the follow. Okay, this is not permineralization. This is a new thing. Okay? Now, replacements are a total substitution of the original matter. So, that means that imagine that the skeleton is there, it is not there. Even if it looks the exact same, that is not the original skeleton. That is organic material that is now, or not organic material, sorry, mineral matter that has now replaced the skeleton. Yes, you should take notes. There is a pop quiz at the end. You should, I should have said something. Notes, pop quiz at the end. Okay. So, unlike permineralization, which fills spaces while leaving original material in place, replacements destroys, then rebuilds the entire structure atom by atom. Frick, I'm cooked. You're cooked. It's Jover. It's Jover. Do we have any other questions, chat? Do we have any other questions, chat? Mr. Smokey, I have a question. Is it true that with our current technology, it is near impossible for us to recreate the fossilization process of things that lead to having fossil fuels? Or did the person that told me that just tell me a bunch of bullshit? No, we're talking about years. We're talking about millions and millions of years of precise conditioning that creates things like oil. That's why things like synthetic oil exist. You could never really come up with a like crude oil version of whatever like we have now for fossil fuels. That's why there are synthetics that we can make out of things like corn. Like we can make fuel out of like corn and other things, but you can never really get to the fossilization process of like fossil fuels, right? That's just, there's so much in it. We only know like the absolute basics. None of us were actually there for the millions of years that it took for all that oil to be made, you know. Plus, we have way better ways of making fuel now, right? We figured out how to make like synthetic gas and synthetic oil already. So we have no need to keep or think about once fossil fuels are gone. We'll have solutions at that point. Okay? Okay. Replacements is when, or is the process that occurs when an organism is completely decomposed and replaced by minerals. Okay? We're going to recap this really quick and then we're going to move on. Okay? We're talking about replacements. Okay? Then we're going to cover recrystallization in one moment. So replacements is when circulating solutions dissolve the original skeletal material and deposit new mineral matter. Okay? This process is the process that occurs when organic material is completely decomposed and replaced by minerals. Okay? Doing good, chat. Doing good. Now, unlike permineralization, which is this means that we're going to take the original skeleton, we're going to destroy it and replace it atom by atom with minerals. Okay? Okay. We're going to talk about recrystallization now. Does everybody think I can I hate myself. Can I erase the board, chat? Men rules. Men do rule. Okay, we're going to talk about recrystallization. Oh, dude, this is the hack. This is the hack. I was asking a bunch of Avi creators if it's possible to put a chalkboard on my Avi so I can take the class other places. And they were like, I don't think so. I was like, what do you mean? I want to be able to take my chat to like the top of Mount Everest and teach a class. By the way, Mount Everest world is true. It does exist. And it takes 2 hours to climb. It takes 2 hours to climb. Maybe we'll speed run it. Do you guys want to speed run Mount Everest one of these days? While talking about rocks, that'd be fun. Okay, recrystallization is closely related to replacement. Okay, so they're close together. So it seems possible, but what I asked, I was like, I want to be able to write on the flat surface of the chalkboard. I want to be able to write on the flat surface so people can take notes. And they were like, well, you'd be updating the texture live, and there's no shader for that. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Okay, so rather than replaced by different minerals, so rather than replacement, rather than replacement, by different minerals, by diff minerals. We're going to use min as an analog for minerals to save space on the board. And we're going to use diff as an analog for different, okay? Different mineral, okay? The original mineral, the OG, we're using an OG as an analog for original. OG mineral what is the long P word? This is recrystallization. Sorry, I should have wrote it better, but I will write it better now. Recrystallization. Crystallization. Oh, you meant in the... oh, okay. Well, I still rewrote it. Okay. Rather than replacement. This is replacement. Sorry. Yeah, I wrote that terrible. Oh, I'm so sucky at this. You guys ever have anxiety after teaching? Because I do. Replacement. That looks even worse, but I'm going to stick with it. Okay. The OG mineral simply reorganizes. Reorganizes its crystal structure. Structure over time. Time heals all wounds, chat. Over time. Okay? So, recrystallization, rather than replacement by a different mineral, the OG mineral simply reorganizes its crystal structure over time. This is things like God, I hate this name of this thing. Aragonite. Aragonite. I keep thinking I'm missing something when I train people at my job at the point where I have to have a checklist. See, I write, you guys may think that I'm like coming up with these like random topics right up the cuff. But like what I'm actually doing is I write a big long script. It takes me a couple days. I write a big long script. Then the whole thing is basically scripted and improvised on the spot. Then I do my pop quiz, which is improvised on the spot. And that's it. Takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of work. So aragonite commonly recrystallizes into calcite. Calcite. Over millions of years. Do you guys know what amylite forms? Those are those shells that have like shine to them. This is how amylite forms. Is because the amylite shells originally composed of aragonite were buried and partially replaced. But in that specific chemistry, the aragonite was preserved intact rather than recrystallizing into calcite, allowing its iridescent microstructure to survive. That's why gem quality amylite exists. So it reminds me of when I was having to tech impromptu classes on fighting positions. And thank you for the follow, Count the Shadows. Thank you. Oh, in Arma? Yeah. See, I just want to do this because I really want to give back to the community. I really want to give something back to the community, but the only thing I know is rocks. So, who knows? Woohoo, science! Yes, indeed. Talking about recrystallization. So that was our recrystallization and replacement section of class, chat. A professor once told me aragonite recrystallizes so easily you could sneeze on it and it would recrystallize into calcite. Pretty much. Aragonite is made of unstable, I have it here in my notes, an unstable form of calcium carbonate in shells. So it's already unstable when it begins its recrystallization process. It's like over. Heck yeah, I actually really like hearing about the science of rocks and whatnot. I just don't know much. That's why I did like my I have a class on like the gemstone basics that I upload all these as VODs onto the YouTube channel. Because it just means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to put my knowledge out there and to do more. I want to do more with everything. I really do want to do more. Next, we'll cover molds and casts. I'll write that on the board. When I think of a rock, I think of it as just a rock, but what are the organic components of a rock? Well, in fossilization, the organic components of a rock depend, because we just talked about permineralization, then we just talked about replacement, which means that it basically takes the original skeletal structure, deletes it, and replaces it with minerals. I tried to be cool and write the and symbol, and it did not work. Boom. Okay, mold and cast. Mold and cast. Mold and cast. Ba, ba, ba. It like slowly grows on the skeletal structure and just replaces over time. No. It destroys the skeletal structure. It destroys the skeletal structure and then replaces it atom by atom. So a mold. So casts and molds are a type of fossilization where the physical characteristics of an organism are impressed onto a rock. This is like especially found in like porous stones such as sandstones. This is so for that other person who was asking about plants. This is where plants come in. They're not. The plants are dead. The plants are dead. Okay, but the imprint of their original characteristics are found. Okay, so they are imprints. Imprints. Okay? These are things like shells, some skeletal structures, bones and teeth, things like that. Maybe leaves. Could be a lot of things. Okay? So a mold. Not like fridge mold, but mold. Mold is when an organism, we're going to use ORG as an analog for organism, guys. So I threw the ghost of a plant at that kid back in 3rd grade. Yes, it was a ghost. And they're haunting you to this day. When an organism is buried in sediment. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. And then later dissolves or decays. Later dissolves. Thank you, Jupiter, for the follow. I appreciate you. Dissolves or decays. Okay? This leaves a cavity in the rock. Okay? In the exact shape of that organism. Shape of, again, we're using organism, ORG, as an analog for organism. Okay? Okay, so this is the mold. It is a negative impression. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So, we're going to recover this, and then we'll move on to casts. Okay, so molds are imprints. Okay? This is when an organism is buried in sediment and later dissolves or decays. Okay, we got that so far? Huzzah. Okay, and it's in the exact shape of the original organism. Okay, this is a negative impression. A negative impression. So it's inside out. Okay? Boom. Man, this class is taking me out of me, guys. I'm tired. Bum 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 bum. Might turn my AC on in just a second. Okay, next we're going to talk about casts. Are there any questions for me? Boom. Boom. Okay, give me 1 sec, guys. I'm going to go turn on my AC. Because it is getting hot in here. I'm not taking off my clothes. Okay. Hello, chat. Damn, that feels already so much better. Okay. Aw, headband. Thank you. Casts. We're going to talk about casts now. What do you guys think a cast is? Okay. Casts are when water containing minerals. We're going to use CON as a word, as an analog for contain. Surrounds, close. So when water containing minerals, minerals, leaks into a mold. Okay? Like when shells get filled and dissolved. Close. Remember our molds? Though it's when water containing minerals leaks into a mold. Okay? Those minerals get hard, like me. Don't clip that, I'm joking. Those minerals harden. Harden to form a copy of the original organic structure. Hello, Archangel. Hello. So a cast is what? If a mold is a negative imprint, what is a cast, guys? Come on, you guys got this. What is a cast? If a mold is a negative, what is a cast? A mold is a positive. Is a positive impression. Positive Just like the impressions that I try to give off. A positive impression. Okay. We'll recap this and then we'll move on. Okay? A cast is when matter... Okay. A cast is when matter containing minerals leaks into a mold. These minerals then harden. Okay? They harden to form a copy. This is called a positive impression. If molds are negative impressions, these are positive impressions. Or a three-dimensional copy. Yes. Water. Hello. What water? Question mark? Does anybody have any questions for me? Your face is so... Oh my gosh. Can I take my glasses off? I take my glasses off so you guys can see my eyeballs. Bam! Now you can see my eyes. Okay. So here's a good analog for you guys, chat. Think of mold and imprints like, for example, say you were to see footprints in the mud, right? Those are molds, right? A cast is when you would fill those in to get an impression, right? Even cuter now? Yes, nerd, you can. That's crazy. Okay. Are you guys ready for me to move on? Okay. Probably gonna change the song real quick because I'm getting tired of it. That is way too high energy. Bum, 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 bum. Even though I can groove to it. Anyways. Okay. Our next subject, we're going to talk about carbonization or compression. Okay? Let me clear the board real quick. Bum, 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 bum. I'm even going to brighten the world a little bit. Okay. Carbonization. Carbonization. Or what did we call it? Carbonization or compression. Compression. What is compression, chat? What is compression? What is compression? Intense pressure. That is true. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So, in carbonization, the decompression or decomposition. I read that wrong in my notes. How do I not read things correctly? Okay, in carbonization, the decomposition of, we're going to use org as an analog for organic. Org is organic. Okay, of organic matter under, God, that looks like the worst under ever. Anic. This is spelled A-N-A-E. Or anaerobic. Anaerobic. A-N-E-A. Or A-E. ROBIC. ROBIC. Anaerobic water. Or sediment. Or sediment. Or sediment. Causes. What do you think this causes, chat? What causes hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen to what? What do you think it causes these to do? It causes them to be driven away. To be driven away. Okay? This leaves what? It leaves carbon. Thus the name, carbonization. This leaves carbon. Okay? And it leaves it behind. Now, during this process, what remains is a thin, dark carbon film on the surface of rocks, which is a two-dimensional. So this would be a 2D silhouette. We're going to use SIL as a analog for silhouette of the organic organism. Of organic organism. I would like to say it's so much easier to do this with my standing desk. It's so much easier that I don't have to run around. Okay? So, carbonization or compression is when the decomposition of an organism or organic matter, you can use organism or organic matter, when the decomposition of organic matter under anaerobic water or sediment causes hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen to be driven away. This leaves carbon, which remains in a dark, thin film on the surface of rocks, which is a two-dimensional silhouette of the original organism. So kind of like mummification, except a lot of pressure is involved. And that's what leads to carbonization. Yes. So the pressure and the decomposition drives these other elements away. It drives the hydrogen, the oxygen, and the nitrogen away. What's left behind is the carbon. So this is, so another thing for that other person that was asking about plant fossils. This is where we get plant fossils. Okay, this is like your leaves and stuff, where instead of the original fossil still being there, it is a 2D silhouette of the original organism, right? Think of like leaves, ferns, ancient seeds. This is like your most common plant fossil is with carbonization. Okay? Now, this is responsible for one gemstone that we have talked about. And it is an organic gemstone called jet. Okay? Jet. Jet is caused by this process. Okay. You guys ready? I have some carbonized plant fossils from the Devonian. That's cool. That's cool. Also, I've kind of like finalized my lesson plan for the month, I think. And we're going to do it this way. Basically, for the people who stick around, we're going to be doing a thing. At the end of every class, we do a pop quiz. At some point, it will move from this to an actual Google, like from me doing it in here to an actual Google form that I'll do every time or every stream. You'll fill out the Google form, and the people who get the most questions right, or like the highest grades, will get stars. At the end of the month, we'll do a big test over the month of what we learned. That the person who gets the most, like on average, because we're doing it like a class. So your final for the month will be worth like 3 stars instead of, the one every class is worth. So it's an important one. I might even up it depending on what you guys think. What did you put down for name? Carbonization or compression? Okay, so depending on how much the final is, because I want it to be worth quite a bit, I might even make it like 10 stars. It just depends. But the person, or what I would like to do is the top 3 people with the highest grades will get sent gemstones from my personal collection. And we'll be doing that monthly. Because that encourages people to ask questions. It encourages people to talk to me. And the whole goal is to spread the love of gemology, geology, and mineralogy. Right? So this encourages people to ask questions. And then basically you get a piece of my collection, and it just gets sent to you for free. What do you guys think of that, chat? Is that a cool thing? You get more rocks to throw at twinks if you learn. Yes. That is the goal here. That is the goal. I thought it was a good idea, personally. Because I really, really, really want to encourage learning. I really, really encourage learning. Because I feel like that's not something that happens in our fandom much. I want to encourage the pursuit of education. I don't know, I got an ad for loot box gambling addiction. No, do not loot box. But yes, that is the goal or plan. I'm still in like beta phase of testing that right now. So welcome to the Smokey Classroom beta. Also, tomorrow's class. Okay, this is going to be a big deal. Tomorrow's class, we're going to have a special guest call in. And we're going to interview them live on stream. Because I'm going to try and get actual geologists that we can call in and stuff. I think that will be fun. What happened to the alpha phase of class? Did you eated him? I did eated him. But yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal here. Okay. Let me look. I don't know. There's some ideas of like wanting to do more like other stuff, but right now I'm just kind of happy doing my classes. My classes do mean a lot to me. Okay. This one is going to be a big point for class because we've already discussed this, so I expect some amount of knowledge. Okay? We're going to talk about amber preservation. Amber preservation. Not as an S, not as E. Preservation. Okay. So amber is unique among fossils. Or it's unique amongst fossilization types. It preserves organisms, not through mineralizations, but what we call, what do you think we call this? We call this chemical entombment. Chemical entombment. Is that the Jurassic Park thing with the mosquito? Yeah, this is the Jurassic Park thing. So amber preservation is a unique fossilization process that preserves organisms not through mineralization, but through chemical entombment. Okay? Good job, chat. You guys are doing so good. Roger, roger. Okay. Amber is what, guys? What is amber made of? Amber is made of what? What is amber made of, chat? It's made of tree sap. Or tree, they like to call it tree resin. Okay? And this tree resin achieves what's called a stable state after the loss, of volatile constituents. I can't say this word. constituent. My brain is mush. And this is after it is buried. After buried. Okay. I'm going to cover this really quick. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to slow down for you guys. I apologize for going so fast. So amber is a unique type of fossilization that preserves organisms not through mineralization, but through chemical entombment. Amber is made of tree resin that achieves a stable state after it achieves after God, I had a brain fart. It is a stable state through the loss of volatile constituents. I think that's what it is. Which is spelled constituent. They call this chemical change after burial. Does it do the same thing as carbonization where it helps to expel the hydrogen and oxygen, or does it just trap things in there? It just traps it. So I can turn someone into a fossil with syrup. If it achieves a stable state after the loss of volatile constituents. But yes. So this is between the age of 84 to 137 million years. I forgot what I wrote on the board. I did actually. I did forget what I wrote on the board. I don't feel amazing, so I'm getting through it. I'm doing what I'm doing what your regular teacher would do. By the way, claps to our actual teachers who actually do this day by day. So, between 84 million to 137 million years ago, this resin is escaping the tree. And so each drop has a unique chance for fossilization, right? Now, this means that organisms trapped within the resin have the chances to be fossilized, right? Tree sweat. So, after they are covered, they are buried and folded into the soil. They mineralize over millions of years. Amber preserves specimens with microscopic fidelity, allowing accurate estimates of the amount of evolutionary change over millions of years, actually. Arthropods are the most diverse life forms in amber, though plants and rare soft body invertebrates can also be found. There was a lizard tail found in a piece of amber. Look it up. It is so cool. It is so cool. There's a lizard tail that has been found, and it didn't have... A lot of people think that, like, dinosaurs were these just scaly things. But most dinosaurs had feathers, like birds. Isn't that cool? Amber preserves the Amber preserves the exoskeletons of small organisms with super good detail. I love it. I have a couple of them. They can even look pretty like freshly dead, which is pretty interesting. Okay, here's something for our previous classmates. What is the younger version of amber? What is the younger version of amber? It's called copal. Okay? And copal is a young, not yet fully fossilized resin. And sometimes copal can be only 1,000 years old. Years old. Or thousands of years old. Thousands of years old. True amber must be at least a few million years old. Okay, does anybody have any questions for me for this section of class? Any questions for me? Okay, I'm clearing the board. I'm clearing the board. Clearing the board. Do 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 do. We're gonna talk about trace fossils. Trace fossils. What do you guys think a trace fossil is? These are fossils that record activity. Fossils that record activity. Activity. What do you guys think activity is? What do you guys think activity in trace fossils means? So trace fossils also contrast with body fossils, okay? What do you guys Yes, dinosaur footprints. Dino footprints are trace fossils. Trace fossils. Dino footprints. Footprints. That's also burrows. Burrows are trace fossils. So, trace fossils consist of physical impressions. Physical impressions. Okay. Made on or in the substrate. The substrate. By an organism. By an organism. Okay. So, examples. We're going to go through some small examples really quick. This can be burrows. Good job, hypo. Good job. Burrows. This can be footprints. This can be feeding marks. This can be root cavities. Okay, what do you think we call this as a term, guys? What do you think we call this as a term? We call it coprolites. C-O-P. Oh, well, this is another term. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to talk about something a little crass, but just know we are talking about fossils. There's a term for a fossil called a coprolite. What do you guys think this is? This is fossilized poop. That is fossilized poop. Coprolites. They didn't want to say fossilized poop, but it is fossilized poop. And because it is not an organism, that is a trace fossil. Okay. These are some of our trace fossils, guys. I apologize that if I seem all over the place, but I'm just like so mentally out there after ferality. But so we know that trace fossils are physical impressions made on or in the substrate by an organism. Some examples we have are burrows, footprints, feeding marks, and root cavities, and also coprolites, which is fossilized poop. Dang, everything getting fossilized in the end? It can happen. It can happen. This is fossil record of activity. Okay, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are our 7 types of fossilization. You guys made it. You guys made it. Now it's up to you. We can talk about some more like fossils as like gems, or we can move on to our pop quiz. Our pop quiz. Do we want to move on to quiz time, or do we want to talk about fossils as gems? What would you guys like? Because we could. So, for examples, I can just run through some. I'm gonna run through really quick, like some stuff as like fossils as gems. So we do know amber. Amber has we know what amber is. So amber's considered a gemstone. Jet, which is a variety of lignite coal. Okay, I'm actually writing this down. I can't be asked. Hi, Sonic. Hello, hello. Jet is a variety of lignite coal. Forms from fossilized wood. Fossilized wood. I keep thinking of the Fallout drug Jet. I know, right? Okay, so Jet is a variety of lignite coal, which is formed from fossilized wood. Formed from fossilized wood. Unlike regular... Oh, sorry, guys. Unlike regular lignite, it is not laminated and has less tendency to split, but breaks with conchoidal fractures. There you go. This is considered a gemstone. Then we have our amylites, which are replacement fossils, and they are a type of fossilized shell from extinct sea creatures. Now, these are only found in the Bear Paw Formation in Alberta, Canada. Amylite is composed of aragonite shells of marine mollusks more than 65 million years ago. Ta-da-ta-da. Then we have our fossil coal, which is the natural coral skeletons that are permineralized over millions of years. Okay, we're going to go over our key takeaways, and then we're doing our quiz, okay? Quiz time. It's quiz time. Okay, key takeaways. Fossils or fossilization is not common. It is rare. Fossilization is rare. It requires rapid burial, low oxygen, and usually hard parts. Okay? Hard parts is important. You have to have your hard parts. Okay? Get your mind out of the gutter. Okay. There are 7 types, or 7 major types. There are 7 major types. 7 are 7 major types. Bum, 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 bum. And they each produce different levels of preservation detail. Okay? Love me some hard parts. I also love hard parts. Amber produces the most detail. So amber equals most detail and most complete. Most detail / complete. Three fossils. Three. Oh. Three fossils reach gem quality. Fossils reach gem status, I guess you would say. Gem status. Which is amber, jet, and amylite. Amylite. So, what makes fossils rare in the gem world? It is that they are rare. It is that they are hard to form and that they are rare. They are an unusual coincidence of geological conditions. Okay. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Okay. It's time, guys. It's time. It's time. Pop quiz time. Pop quiz. It's quiz time. It's quiz time. Do do. It is quiz time. I'm going to fail. I expect some amount of learning. 1. So if I jump into a tub of maple syrup with my gun and stolen fursuit, future generations can find that and wonder what the fuck I was on. Yes! Now 1. What is a fossil? Or what 2 conditions are generally need to be met for an organism to become a fossil? That's rapid and it's, I'm going to give you guys a second to answer. It's rapid, and it has to have some what? What 2 processes or 2 conditions? 2 conditions. It is rapid burial. Okay, we got rapid burial. And no. Okay. What also is needed? What is needed? Like, I have a jellyfish don't have a. We need hard parts. Hard parts. Skeletons. Okay? The 2 conditions are rapid burial and skeletal structure that generally need to be met. What happens during premineralization? Okay? What happens during premineralization? Correct. It is when organic material or matter, we'll write matter, is impregnated or fills pores. Impregnated. With mineral matter. Can I bribe the teacher with food to at least get a C-? No, you cannot. I have standards. I need drugs. I don't want food, I want drugs. Anyways, what is amber? What is amber made of? It's fossilized what? What is amber made of? What about hot werewolf for a bribe? I would take that. Also drugs. I will wait for the ad break. Tree resin is factual. Tree resin. Welcome to the chat, Roy. Okay, number 4 of our pop quiz. What is a trace fossil? What is a trace fossil? What is a trace fossil, chat? What is a trace fossil? Fossils that record activity. Yes. Activity. They are fossils that record activity. I do appreciate the detailed answer, Hypo. Trace fossils are impressions of behavior in strata. Anything that's not organic. Well, technically, yes. But it is an impression of an organism or its activity. Okay? We're going to go for number 5. What remains after carbonization? What remains after carbonization? Furry Fox, thank you for the follow. What remains after carbonization? A blank. We reached a follower goal? Oh, cool. What remains after carbonization? A carbon silhouette. Yes. Carbon. A thin, dark film on the surface of rocks. Good job, Sam. Good job, Chris. Good job, Sam. It is carbon silhouette made of a thin, dark film. Silhouette. Okay, you guys are actually doing really good. What is the difference between mold fossils and cast fossils? What is the difference? What makes them different? This is, one is a and another is a Mold is a negative. And mold is a negative. Negative. Cast is positive. Is positive. We're going to go for number 7 now. I'm actually very impressed. Everybody's very impressive today. What is the main mineral? Then what it's called? Oh, Void Cat. Hi, hi. Okay. So amylites they shine? What makes them shine? Okay. This one's a little harder. We didn't touch on it too much, but it's a mineral. It starts with an A. Ada. Aragonite. Good job. Aragonite. Okay, what is a replacement fossil? What is a replacement fossil? What does it do? What is a replacement fossil? Change organic matter. Okay. It destroys, then rebuilds the entire structure atom by atom. It is that. Good job. What question am I on? Bum, 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 ba-da-ba-dum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. It destroys, then rebuilds. Thought I'd see how the classes are going. Classes are going good. We're doing a test. We're doing a test. Okay. What type of coal is jet made of? What type of coal is jet made of? Fossilized wood? Lignite is the correct answer. Lignite. It is made of lignite coal. That is made of fossilized wood. Lignite coal. I will give you the point, Chris. I will give you the point. Okay. For number 10, we're going to have to erase the board, but for number 10, this is where you guys have the most fun. Okay. Name all 7 major types of fossilization. Number 10. Name all 7 types of major fossilization. We're going to do it one at a time. One at a time. Do not just dump it in one big message. One at a time. What is our 7 major types of fossilization? Permineralization is one. Good job. Permineralization. What is our next one? That's number 1. It's number 2. Replacement and recrystallization is correct. What is number 3? Slash recrystallization. What's our number 3? Molten cast is correct. Molds and casts. Amber preservation is correct. Also, I'll give you the point for chemical entombment. Amber preservation. What's number 5? Carbonization or compression. Carbonization or compression. What's our number 6? What's our number 6, guys? Starts with a T. Bum, 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 ba-da, 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 bum. Trace is one of them. Trace fossils. Trace fossils. The one where... Okay. That's it, guys. That's all. I accidentally put these as 2, but they should be separated. So, our 7 types of major fossilization are permineralization, replacement, recrystallization, molds and casts, amber preservation, carbonization or compression, and trace fossils. Okay, that's it. You guys did great. I have one more question for you. Number 11. Did you guys have fun? Thank you for the follow, Mundane Raccoon. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so this is the part of the class where I ask, what can I do to be better? What can I offer in the next class to do more? Are there any requests for classes that we should do? Raven, don't worry. If you need to, the VODs will be uploaded to YouTube right after stream. But this is your time to criticize me and tell me what I did bad. What are the best rocks to throw at Twinks? Big ones. As big as you can carry. Yeah, just check the YouTube and they'll get uploaded. Our next class, I haven't decided what our next class is, but it'll feature a special guest. Next class, our next class will feature a special guest, my mom. Next class will feature my mom. So next class will feature my mom as a special guest. Can't really think of anything to make it better, to be honest. Sometimes it was a little difficult to see what was written on the board. No problem. I'm trying to get better at writing on the board. I want one of those things that like snaps the lettering in. We're going to try maybe a pen system the next class, but we'll see. But yes, next class will feature my mother as a special guest. For information, my family has been doing rocks, gems, and minerals for 60 years. Long time. But yeah, me and my mom are going to work on the next class, and then she's going to be a special guest for us. Wait, did I miss it? I just woke up. You did miss it, sadly. But yeah, next class will feature my mom. And she is excited to talk to you guys. So prepare questions. Prepare questions. Specifically, my mom has been doing gems and minerals for over 30 years. My mom specializes in opal, so I believe our next class will be opal or opalization. Our next class is on opals. So prepare questions. Prepare questions. But yes, my mom will be on the next stream. Okay, Rice. Delete him. Looking forward to the next class. Okay, I'm excited. It is weird. I have never done something with my mom where I'm in VR, but we're gonna try. I'll make sure I'm on my best behavior. Good. I could never let my family know I'm a furry. They know I am. I'm actually like pretty out there. Even my grandma watches my class videos, like my classes on YouTube. My grandma watches those. Is your mom going to be in VR too? No. What my plan is to do is I'm going to take this section of the whiteboard and I'm going to use it as a video to put them on the video, to put them video wise right there. Okay, here's the question. Do you guys want it to be just my mom or my grandparents as well? Or my grandmother as well? I could get both if I felt like it. And then after that, we're going to get other guests that we can talk to about rocks. Okay? Awesome. And with that, I think we're just going to end out today, guys. I'm going to see if there's anybody to raid, but now, okay, this is where I'm going to do my ads, because finally at the end, I can do my ads. It sounds great that your family accepts you as a furry. Thank you. I did not think they would, but they said, and we don't care. And it was quite nice. It was quite nice. I'm going to see about rating. Where is he? Yeah, we'll probably raid out to Rocket. What should our raid message be? You rock. That's what our raid message is gonna be. You rock. And just so I can do my final advertisement, if you have any primes, if you don't mind using them on me, it helps me fund the classes, because these take a long time. No pressure though, because I don't need it and I don't want your money. Okay, bye. I'm done. You bastard! I just hit the button! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. We're leaving now. I love you. I said no. I said no money. I said no money. But I love you. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, we're raiding now. We're raiding to Rocket because we love Rocket. Good night. Good night. Okay. Tell Rocket you rock. You rock. That's our raid message. Ba-da-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-bum. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Have a great day, guys. Have a great day, guys. Bye. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna get some food. Raid message, you rock. Raid message, you rock. Okay, bye. Bye. Okay, we go now. I'm done.